Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about the S5. I've done a couple of videos like this before, but nothing really as far as like the ownership and what to expect and living with this car. So that's what I'm going to do today. Just go over a little bit about what to expect, what the ownership is like, because I've had this car for 43 months. It sounds crazy to say out loud, but it's been over 3.5 years since I bought this car in 2018. So for those of you that are new, this is my 2013 Audi S5. It is stage 1 with a Eurodyne tune. Has a couple goodies here and there, but nothing really crazy outside the ECU and TCU tune. Links to all my videos as far as like the modifications and whatnot will be in the description if you guys are curious to what parts I'm running, what mods I'm running, things like that. The only thing I'll leave you guys with is if we are not at 10,000 subscribers yet, let's make that happen. We're very close. I can feel it coming soon. The 2013 to 2017 Audi S5 is the B8.5. So with that, you get the supercharged 3-liter V6. The platform itself is very tunable. That's why a lot of people go with these cars. With a simple flash tune, you can gain 100 horsepower, which is absolutely insane. So let's talk a bit about that first, shall we? The power potential for these cars is absolutely ridiculous. It's something I've talked about in past videos, but I want to bring up again because it's worth bringing up. The 3.0T from Audi from this generation is super tunable. It's in the SQ5, the S4, and S5, as well as the A6 and A7. So certain years have certain different platforms and certain trims you can get. Ultimately, what you need to know is the 3.0T with the supercharged V6 is going to be one of the most tunable platforms you can get for the money. In one of my most recent videos, we talked about the A6 and its power potential. That one was pushing over 500 crank horsepower. Really, it's an easy way to get those high horsepower numbers. I'm speaking relatively, obviously. For an all-wheel drive Audi, 500 horsepower is good. This is a great way to get, a sub 4 second 0 to 60 car. But I don't want to talk so much about the power as I want to talk about what to expect with the power, daily drivability, things like that, like everyday driving. I drove this car to and from work about 15 to 20 minutes each way, and it was totally fine. Literally just average kind of highway cruising. I don't know when you guys are watching this video, but gas prices are about $5 a gallon for 93. So hopefully coming down here soon, but doubt it. Anyways, the fuel efficiency is decent. It's nothing crazy. I put 93 in this car. I recommend you do the same. So expect around 22 to 26 miles per gallon with this car. Nothing crazy. It's not the most fuel efficient thing in the world, but it's also not a gas guzzler for something that has power potential and is a V6. You just get what you get in that aspect. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about the fuel efficiency. It is all-wheel drive, so I drive this car all winter long, and I live in Michigan. It was a bit of a mild winter this year, so I did not actually switch to my Bridgestone Blizzaks on the stock wheels, which are right behind me. I ran all winter long on the Michelin Pilot Sport AS3 Pluses, and things were fine. With the Audi Quattro, it handles just fine in the winter, nothing really to worry about. If you are in a place where it snows a lot and you get kind of harsh winters, I highly recommend the Bridgestone Blizzaks. I just run them on my stock wheels that came with the car. The stock suspension on this car, the ride height is relatively average. It's not something that's too outrageous. It's really comparable to your everyday sedan. I wanted it a bit lower. I put on 19-inch wheels, wanted the fitment to be a little better, so I opted for the H&R Sport Springs on my car, which bring the ride height down by an inch and a half, something like that. So it does scrape on really steep surfaces. So for example, coming out of my apartment, I have to take that at an angle so I don't scrape. You just have to be careful. Things like speed bumps, you just have to adjust your driving style accordingly. And I talked about this a little bit more in my video, what to expect before you lower your car, what to think about before lowering your car. I don't know what it's titled. Things you need to know before lowering your car, whatever it's called. I talk about it in there. So if you want an in-depth suspension video, click on that. One thing I wanted to know when I was looking for cars is the maintenance and what to expect with repairs, costs, things like that. So let's dive into that, shall we? The only real maintenance I've done on this car thus far, owning it 30,000 miles, is oil changes. So for me, I'm coming up on 70,000, and I'll be taking it to a performance shop, Vast, in Southeast Michigan, to kind of go over a little diagnosis and say, okay, it's time for this, it's time for this, it's time for this. I know things are going to be needing replacement on this car. I've done 4 oil changes on this car, I believe, in 3.5 years. So once every 7,000 or 8,000 miles. I don't beat on my car really, but it's still recommended to get oil changed every 10,000 miles is kind of the maximum with the full synthetic. But very soon I will be going into the shop for a full service, just to get everything kind of looked at. I think I need to look at the upper control arm bushings, the DSG fluid, just kind of get things flushed out, replaced. I know spark plugs, and just a couple other things, maybe a carbon cleaning. Things that happen on these cars, you need to upkeep them, because if you take care of them, these will last 200,000 miles. So take care of it, put the time and money into it, and you will thank yourself later when you're not buying yourself a new engine for 12 grand. So next I want to talk a little bit about the 2-door versus 4-door. Obviously this video is about the S5 with 2 doors. A lot of people and a lot of my followers have the S4 version of this car, which is just 4 doors. The S5 for me is totally fine. I rarely ever have more than 2 people in my car. So the back seat is good for things like, well, my extra wheels. I have fit my skis in this car. The middle kind of back seat area folds down, so you get full access to the trunk. You can fit all 4 wheels in there if you need to. I've done that before as well. So plenty of room for like everyday hauling, groceries, golf clubs, all things that fit in my car with no problem at all. The biggest difference with the S4 is, of course, comfortability and how many people you want in your car at once. If you have a family and you need a car seat in the back, wouldn't recommend the S5. Go for the S4 or SQ5. But personally, I like the look of the 2 doors better. I think it's more a little sleek kind of profile, and I really like it a lot. The great part about the S4, S5, SQ5, A6, A7, the 3.0T, you get a ton of range and preference, trim, size. It's all basically the same thing underneath except for your preferences. So you get a lot of customization. These cars are now used. There's a ton of them out there. So if you're looking for something specific, don't pick the first car you find right away. Do your research, do some looking, find exactly what you want, what platform, what size, what comfort level. That is all entirely up to you, and there's a ton of options out there just as far as the used car market. I get a lot of questions from time to time in my DMs saying, hey, I'm looking at this car with this miles, like, is this a good deal? Short answer, it's subjective. So if you need 4 doors, get something with 4 doors. If you need 2 doors, get something with 2 doors. Again, pretty self-explanatory as far as like a preference thing. But as far as owning this car in particular, the 2-door S5 from 2013, it's been nothing but, spectacular results with my ownership anyways. Knock on wood, not everybody's experience is the same. Fortunately, I've gone just about 30,000 miles and have really enjoyed every single one. If you're thinking about taking a long road trip or something with this car, I have done it. I have gone to Kansas City. I've came back from Kansas City, went to Tennessee, came back from Tennessee, went to the UP in Michigan, came back. Again, knock on wood, but every single time we've done something like that with a longer road trip, it's been totally fine. Just get to the next gas station, fill up, you're on your way, 400 more miles, boom. The car does have heated seats, which is really nice for the winter. Again, being in Michigan, we get very, very cold winters. You get to crank it up to high and heats up pretty quickly, I'd say within a minute of driving. This particular car has the Bang & Olufsen sound system, so very good audio. I'm one of those people where I turn the volume up pretty high when I'm driving, and it's on all the time. I'd say 95% of the time I'm driving this car, I'm listening to music of some sort. Definitely worth it for me, and I know worth it for a lot of people that are into music, into high quality audio. So I hope this video wasn't too broad in the sense that I didn't give as many specifics as maybe people were hoping. Everybody's situation, everybody's experience is different with these cars. So if you have any specific questions, I encourage you to leave them in the comments below. I look at all my comments and will try my best to respond. I do this whole YouTube thing to kind of share my experience with these cars and provide some sort of information or help to you guys that are looking either in the market, thinking about getting this kind of car, already have this car and want to know more about it, or overall just provide some sort of entertainment value. So I hope I did at least one of those things for you guys today. If you guys are new to the channel, like I said, let's try and hit 10,000 subscribers. Like the video to help out that algorithm. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you.